Hey, how are you? This is Sebastian Bach of Skid Row.
This is Dave the Snake, and you're watching the Week in Rock.
Now, now, now.
This week, Skid Row goes straight to #1. Women musicians band together for abortion rights. KRS-One sets out to heal the world, and Fishbone goes briefly back to school. Hi, I'm Kurt Loder. Welcome to the Week in Rock. New Jersey's Skid Row will make a little bit of pop history on Monday when the group's new LP, Slave to the Grind, becomes the first hard rock album ever to debut at #1 on the Billboard chart. Sales of the record may have been swollen somewhat by the fact that it's being sold in two versions, one containing a song with a rowdy title, the other without it. According to a chart expert at Billboard magazine, such instant #1s are likely to become a lot more common with the new SoundScan in-store computing technology that's now being used to compile sales figures. And he says the length of stays at the top of the chart are likely to become shorter. No telling how Skid Row are celebrating their first #1 record this weekend, but when Tabitha Soren paid the group a visit last week, they already seemed pretty happy.
It's still early yet, but fans are already warming up for the sold-out show. A lot of the cars in the parking lot are playing Skid Row's new album. One of the owners is right here. What do you think about the new album?
It's really great.
What do you like about it?
It's much heavier than the first album, and it's really got a lot of kicking tunes.
The new album rocks. It's heavier. What version did you buy?
I bought the one with the explicit lyrics on it.
We're not expecting them to buy both copies. We just want the Skid Row fans to get the Skid Row record.
The song that warranted an explicit lyric sticker on the album is called Get the F*** Out, and the band says the politicians and the PMRC have their own agenda.
The reason why they hate it so much is because it's a word that describes what their wives want to do to him.
It's a record that we made that can finally back up my mouth. You know, because I sit and, you know, when they come see us play live and stuff, I'm sick and tired of going, oh, we're so much heavier live than the record. If we could be as heavy as our record one night, then I'd be proud. I'm really sick and tired of bands that like dress up like heavy metal bands, and you kind of get sucked into buying a record or sucked into watching them, and then you find out they're like the Osmonds with long hair.
The first day the album was out, when we did play, people were singing Monkey Business, so we knew it was taking effect.
Last week, some dangerous monkey business happened on stage when a fan jumped up to sing with Sebastian, and the security guards jumped on the fan.
I thought, you know, a guy that had paid $35 to get in and have a good time was getting his ass kicked.
So here I come to save the day.
So we all go flying into the amps, and then I didn't see it, but then when I saw the film, I felt it right after. It just went...
While thousands of fans are waiting for their appearance, this is where the band has to live.
We have great food. See, we have burnt pasta. Look at that.
It doesn't even stick to the wall. Is this where you all shower together?
All together, yes.
At once? When you shower?
Check this out. It's just stereo. Aerosmith gave it to us. See?
In the past, Skid Row has opened for veterans like Aerosmith, but this time around they're opening for a band from the same generation.
We're all the same age. We all grew up listening to the same stuff instead of listening to the bands that we were opening for, which kind of makes you awestruck. And so now it's just like you're hanging out with a bunch of your buddies.
Skid Row will be opening up for Guns N' Roses until the second week in August, and after that they'll be out on their own. So if you want to see the two bands together, now is the time.
Skid Row's new #1 album would seem to put the group in an awkward position on its current tour with Guns N' Roses, a band that still hasn't released the 2-LP follow-up to its 1987 debut album. The Guns' Use Your Illusion albums are now said to be coming out either in late July or mid-August. But on Wednesday, they did unleash a new video for You Could Be Mine, a song off the soundtrack of the upcoming Arnold Schwarzenegger film Terminator 2. Schwarzenegger himself makes a pretty funny appearance in the clip, and when we talked to Guns frontman Axl Rose recently, he told us a little more about it.
He apparently has a Guns N' Roses head, you know, and he was working on his movie, and he said that he was talking with Jim Cameron, the director who did this, and he was saying he wanted to get some good music, some hard music, some Guns N' Roses.
Some really strong stuff.
A very long time, and finally, like, in the last month, all of a sudden he was like, I think you're right. And I was like, it's a little late. But what worked out really cool is we wanted to put out a version of a song, You Could Be Mine. And also with Don't Cry, so we have a rocker and a ballad. Yeah. And we let them listen to a lot of the material, and the song they picked was You Could Be Mine.
Another hard rock band in the news this week was Poison, which, with rumors already swirling about internal conflicts within the group, suddenly canceled the final month's worth of dates on its current U.S. tour. The reason put forth was that bassist Bobby Dahl had broken 2 fingers on his left hand last weekend. That didn't stop the gossip, though, so on Thursday's edition of The Day in Rock, we got singer Bret Michaels on the line to clarify the situation.
I know one thing for sure, you know, we had been asked by some of the promoters to go ahead and finish the last month of the tour with a different bass player. They were willing to either pay or fly someone in, and we just couldn't do it. You know, our band's always been the 4 of us, and as long as it remains, you know, Bobby, CeCe, Ricky, and myself, we won't, you know, I'll never be on stage as Poison, you know, with any other members. I just couldn't see doing that.
A more serious controversy has attended the U.S. Supreme Court's increasingly restrictive stance on the right of women to have abortions. Among the many women alarmed about this situation are such musicians as Kate Pierson of the B-52s and Lady Miss Keir of Deee-Lite, who gathered with some of their colleagues in New York City last weekend to film a pro-choice public service announcement. Here's how it went.
Choice. It's your choice. It belongs to you.
Today we got a bunch of really great women in the music industry to stand up for a woman's right to choose when she wants to become a mother.
It's time now to really take a stand and mobilize and, you know, join grassroots organizations and let your voice be heard, because I think the general population, I feel like they really stand behind choice. I think they feel that women should have a choice, and people can't legislate morality.
The younger generation that I reach through rap will realize that we have to do something about this now, because they don't know, if this is taken away from us, they don't know the consequences of it yet.
I could very easily be the mother of a 12-year-old today, but I think that I chose to wait.
It's up to an individual what their decision is, but I'd rather a person have a choice than go to some back alley somewhere and make a really bad mistake.
I hope we made history. I'm sure we made history, but I'm just hoping that everybody will support it when they see it.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with Madonna at large in the world of baseball, KRS-One attempting to write the book on human understanding, MC Hammer with a few more words about Sinead O'Connor, and the return at last of Fishbone. First, though, a look at the week's new releases. Don't go away.
Unaffected. You don't love me. Uncommon. We can work it out. Unplugged. We can work it out. The best of MTV Unplugged tonight at 8:30. On TV on MTV.
The Week in Rock is brought to you by new Permasoft Color-Coated Curl Care. It's the only way to handle a perm, and by Little Caesars Pizza, where you guys get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price.
What's the big idea behind Lifesavers Fruit Juicers candy? The great taste of fruit juice with holes. Fruit juicers made with real fruit juice. Isn't life delicious?
Got a perm? Better get color-coated curl care. Permasoft. Pink, blue, or green, depending on the quirks of your perm. It's new. It's from Permasoft. It's the only way to handle a perm.
Wait, she's the one.
That's our cover girl.
Amazing eyes.
Let's book her. Hey, Rachel, you forgot your eyes.
Nothing brings eyes to life like CoverGirl Thick Lash Mascara. The Lash Builder Brush and Super Thickening Formula magnify every lash to twice its size. For lashes so thick, they won't believe your eyes. Think thick. Thick Lash Mascara. Because lashes twice the size make sensational eyes. CoverGirl, redefining beautiful.
Officially, we don't know what the heck it is.
All I can say about this, it feels good.
Ladies, chill out.
You could poke someone's eye out like that. Yeah, they're out there having fun in that warm California sun.
Advanced salon thinking from the salons of Vidal Sassoon. Vidal Sassoon conditioning rinse. It goes beyond traditional conditioners and helps protect hair too. First, it finds and conditions the damaged areas and goes on to help seal and protect hair overall. From heat, from styling, from the world. So your hair moves, shines, feels salon fabulous. Go beyond conditioning. Protect with Vidal Sassoon. Advanced salon thinking, advanced salon hair.
How long will the flavor of carefree sugarless bubble gum last? How long? Till these guys sing for themselves. Carefree sugarless bubble gum. The flavor lasts.
Welcome back to the Week in Rock. Madonna made a rare appearance at a Major League Baseball game on Tuesday night when the White Sox played the Cleveland Indians in Chicago. The singer, who's in town to train for her part in director Penny Marshall's upcoming film about an all-woman baseball team, was joined in the stands by VH1 comic Rosie O'Donnell and by her co-star in the movie, actor Tom Hanks. Notably absent, however, was Deborah Winger, who had been announced as the film's female lead but has now dropped out. This is probably fine with Madonna, who recently told an interviewer she hated Winger in the recent film version of the Paul Bowles cult novel The Sheltering Sky, one of Madonna's favorite books. Meanwhile, in the New York City district of Harlem, rap star KRS-One of Boogie Down Productions was assembling an all-star cast to help shoot the video for an upcoming single called Heal Yourself. The song will be included on a new LP called The Heal Album, which is intended to raise money for KRS-One's latest social project, HEAL, which stands for Human Education Against Lies. The group hopes to print and distribute a book of humanistic writings to schools all over the world. We were at the video shoot and brought back this report.
Oh man, this is Human Education Against Lies. You better know the flavor, kid. Human Education Against Lies tries to open the eyes of humanity before it dies. What people have been tricked into believing is that you can be a human being without having human duties. Like, in other words, people say, I want human rights, but they don't want to have human duties. The human being's purpose is to serve humanity. This is the concept and ideology of HEAL and the book.
The music video will be offered to schools free of charge. The money raised by the sales of the single and album will go to printing and distributing a textbook to schools all over the world. And the theme, humanity as a #1 priority.
Heal yourself, you got to heal yourself. Heal yourself.
Chris gave us the option of rapping about whatever we wanted to rap about, as long as it was on the topic of human education against lies. So, and I chose to speak about the school system because I think it's a lot of classes that are missing.
I went back and now the school is closed. There's nowhere for black youth to go to be taught by brothers and sisters who knows what it means to be a black child or a white teen.
DMT had this rhyme about AIDS, so we said we should let the people know about AIDS because a lot of people don't know that it happens to young people too.
Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. AIDS. We're here to make you get wise. Human education against lies.
My message in the song is teaching young girls to have, self-respect.
Sisters giving up the bar. Today it's teaching not to fathers, you're too hard. They call us skeezers, and you prove it to the worst. Honey, you have to earn the right to say it's ladies first.
Silence of the Lambs director Jonathan Demme, video director Pam Jenkins, Fab Five Freddy, and Ted Demme from Yo MTV Raps teamed up for a unique approach for the video.
It's one shot. I never did that before. Well, it's kind of bugged out, but We're making it work.
It's cool though, because it's like, you know, spontaneous, you know, and it's real.
We don't want to do any cuts because we want to emphasize for the viewer the excitement of seeing all this talent together in one place at one time.
So it calls for precise timing, choreography.
We've been getting together and walking through and conceptualizing what will happen when the camera comes to our artists.
The four of us are directing it, and we took the song and split it up into 4 different areas. And each of us is responsible for a different area, but yet we're all putting input into the entire project with Chris.
Clap your hands to the beat. Come on and just clap your hands to the beat.
We're looking to reach the world with this.
To the beat. Come on and just clap your hands to the beat.
The Heal Yourself single will be out on July 29th. The Heal album is due to be released in September. In concert tour news, there's another big package outing gearing up to hit the road on July 9th. It's called Operation Rock and Roll, modestly enough, and stars Judas Priest, Alice Cooper, Motorhead, Dangerous Toys, and Metal Church. And it'll probably look something like this.
It's going to be 6 hours of black leather rock and roll. We're amped. We're excited. We're blown away by the lineup. It's something of an historical event as much as anything else. You know, to see this kind of heavy metal rock and roll lineup, it's very, very unique.
Capitalizing on the patriotism left over from Operation Desert Storm, Operation Rock and Roll is about to invade. Headliners Judas Priest and Alice Cooper are touring with Motorhead and new bands Dangerous Toys and Metal Church. Judas Priest Rob Halford already has his own interpretations of what went on in the Gulf.
We just think that it's a great name for a tour, and this is going to be a bit like someone said earlier today, a bit like a desert storm rolling into a town and giving people a great time and moving on, you know. Somebody said it was the mother of all earaches, which is a great idea.
This package tour features mostly outdoor venues, and at each show, cassettes of the band's records will be given away. And this package tour isn't too worried about ticket scalping either.
I promise not to scalp anybody.
Cooper says the competition between bands will only force them to play their best every night.
Any band goes up there every night trying to blow the other bands away. That's the nature of the beast, you know. But I think it's a very friendly kind of thing.
The news from Cleveland this week, meanwhile, was that after 5 long years of talk and speculation, construction of an actual building to house the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will finally get underway this October. Last weekend, I.M. Pei, the noted architect, unveiled his design for a multi-level glass structure with a 160-foot tower which would overlook Lake Erie. The hall has been plagued by problems from the outset, most recently a complaint by the Cleveland City School Board protesting the diversion of $18 million scarce tax dollars to help pay for the museum, which is ultimately expected to cost $75 million. Hall officials and local school board executives will attempt to iron out their financial differences at a meeting on July 2nd. In other contentious news, rap star MC Hammer was back cracking about Irish singer Sinead O'Connor again this week. As you may recall, O'Connor had launched this mini feud by disparaging Hammer's music in a magazine interview. Hammer then took aim at O'Connor, criticizing her refusal to allow national anthems to be played at her concerts and suggesting she abandon her temporary residence in Los Angeles and go back where she came from. Coincidentally, O'Connor did relocate to London. She sent the bill for her airfare to Hammer, and he paid it. But now he's wondering if maybe he's been taken.
I paid not only her bill, but she brought a couple friends with her. I paid those bills too. But I think she's going to trick me because she'll probably be coming back to America.
O'Connor's press representative stresses that the singer billed Hammer only for her airfare and that no, she's not thinking of moving back to the States anytime soon. We're going to take another quick break right now, but we'll be back in moments with Fishbone on the road again, Toronto's jazz-rapping Dream Warriors, and viewer response to our question of the week, should women be allowed to fight wars? First, though, here's a quick look at the hairstyles the new issue of Allure magazine thinks Sinead O'Connor might look good in if she had any hair to style. Do stay with us.
Sounds mean, but I really don't think so. You asked for the truth and I told you.
MTV's stirring something up.
Liquid television.
A new half-hour series of the coolest animation on TV.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Take cutting-edge cartoons, plop in a few surprises, add some spice, and shake. Sunday nights at 7:30, only on MTV.
Watch me!
Liquid television.